Sure. Damon, also known as Saint Prometheus, lead singer and Titan of Fire.
I'm Mark. I'm the Titan of the Ocean, Ocanus, and I also play the drums.
I'm Kronos, Titan of Chaos and Bass, and my real name is Chris.
I am Gab, aka Hyperion, the God of Light, and also the guitar player of Stereotytans.
So I love that you guys are talking about your on-stage characters. That's the first question I have for you guys is the Greek god concept, along with it's very comic book related. I'm curious why the Greek god concept.
Anybody want to take that one?
Go ahead, Dane. Do it.
Why not?
Yeah. The Greek concept, I would actually say that the sound is, we wanted to make sure that the sound was epic and it has a big sound to it. And there's nothing more bigger than what's bigger than a god, and that's a Titan. So, I mean, the story of the Titans is something that it just quickly clicked with all of us to make sure that, once again, the story is correlated with our sound. So, big sound, big name. And on top of that, I was going to say, and on top of that, we also made sure that each Titan that we identify with, it's also something that, I mean, personally, our own behavior, our own personalities that we connect with as well, which each of us could go around and say, like, why that Titan. So for me, I mean, Steel and Fire, I mean, and always kind of like going against authoritative figures, that was Prometheus. So, and I mean, who doesn't love eagles, right? So, I mean, that's Prometheus. So, I mean, and that's something when it comes even with like the songwriting, just rebellious writing, and also Steel and Fire. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to steal whatever I can to give to the people. So that's why I identify with Prometheus.
That was my next question. Like, so you guys didn't just open a Greek, mythology book and point to a character. You guys looked it up and decided who and all that?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So you guys...
Well, I think that one thing that is really cool is that every character that we represent, as far as the traits of every character, it very much resembles our own personalities in real life as well,
That's really fascinating, and you guys tied it into a comic book vibe, and I'm curious about this comic book you guys have, and you guys are playing KidCon coming up on the 21st. Can you talk a little bit about the role comic books play in your band?
So the band itself, we kind of wanted to take something and do something a little different as far as bands go. So we wanted to kind of do a whole life imitating art, imitating life scenario where we decided that Dame and Gab came up with this big, long, crazy, like, story arc, and we decided that we wanted to portray that on stage and in comic book form as well to kind of give people and fans, like, something different, to give them a little bit more than just music and just a show.
Were you guys comic book kids? Was that a thing you all shared, or...?
I know I was, for sure. Like, growing up, any kind of comic book I read, I could get my hands on, I pretty much read. And, it didn't matter whether it was Marvel or DC, Image, like, pretty much anything I picked up and checked it out, so.
Yeah, I mean, with me, I was terrible with reading. My mom kind of caught on to it, and she just already identified, because she was a teacher, and she knew that he's not going to read it because he doesn't like the content that's being thrown at him. So let me throw something at him that he likes. He likes superhero stuff. So, she quickly threw like Superman and like the Amazing Spider-Man stuff. But I gravitated towards Daredevil. So once I kind of got into something that I liked, then of course I got addicted to it.
Well, that's something that's really interesting about your group is that all comic books, right, or all literature in general, is the Joseph Campbell's like hero's journey, and these comic book characters, these superheroes, are those same archetypes. And you guys brought it one step further. You're the Greek gods. You're doing music, and you're doing a comic book. That's really a real immersive experience. So not a lot of bands have a comic book. It's you, Kiss and Eminem. That's a really big deal. Can you talk about how that came about?
Yeah. Luke, it's interesting because the Joseph Campbell story arc is, it's very Western, and we take a little bit of a spin on even on that. Like, so the Titans don't actually learn, right? They don't do too much growing, and neither do the gods. So the story is that the Titans created everything, and then they, including the gods, their children, and their children were sort of like angry at their parents, so they overthrew them and threw them in prison called Tartarus, right? And there's actually, in terms of mythology, it's not really talked about. The Titans are not really spoken much about after that. It's more about the gods. And so we picked up on that story. So it's really like we've set up this sort of tension between Titans and the gods, and when we escape from Tartarus, which is where the comic book starts, we're hiding out. We're just sort of like dealing with modern life. But the truth is, the way that the comic book story arc goes, we never really learn. The gods never learn. It's really going to be the humans are going to determine what they want to do with us in the end, because our sort of battle with them is just going to end up destroying the planet and the universe if the humans don't sort of, check their own gods.
So
that's where that's.
If the audience comes to your shows, they actually have a say in how your universe ends.
It's totally
Yes,
Exactly.
Crowd interactive.
Yeah, in fact, the music that you're listening to, the epic themes, a lot of that came from our fans telling us what songs they wanted to hear on the epic theme album.
Yep.
So,
And we're going through that right now as far as like, what would you like the Titans to do? So, not even just from like TV shows or movies, but also video games.
guys, I wouldn't be surprised because the music industry is trying to find ways to make music interactive instead of going and buying a record or downloading or pirating a record. You guys, I think people are going to be looking at you guys saying, how do we do what these guys are doing? They're doing it all. They're not using one medium. They've got a story. Their fans are talking to them through every which way. They're responding in multiple ways. I mean, is that a cognitive choice to try to further what you're doing?
Yep.
Or did it just happen?
That was intentional. And Jack could probably tell you more about that intentionality because, in those first, the first 2 years, it was really incubating a lot of these ideas. And we knew that we wanted to do multimedia, but we also thought that, bands should have a message. This should be about something. And how do you tell a message? Well, you do it through visuals, you do it through song, you do it through lyrics, you do it through storybook. There's all different ways. And then you get on stage, the theatrical performance itself also tells a story.
Next is smell. We're working on how could we get smell involved.
Smell it.
See it, you can hear it. We're going to maybe have like our own Titan beer or our own Titan food. And then what could we smell? So we want to hit all sensories.
Listen,
That's right.
if you make a Titan lager, I will be the first in line. I promise you.
Oh, be ready, be ready.
So you heard it here.
Do you like wheat ales, by the way?
Say you.
So if you
We got a little something coming down the pipe that might happen with some beer situation. So keep your eyes open.
Oh, you heard
Don't
it here
speak too soon.
first. Luke Davidson with the scoop. So it's hard enough for a band to live together, play together, practice, tour, and have chemistry. You guys are doing all these things. You have to play a role. You all, assuming, you all need to be into literature and comic books and these nerdy things. You're doing KidCon. I say nerdy, as a nerd. I mean, how is it hard for these Titans not to clash? I promise I just came up with that. I wasn't rehearsing that.
They do.
There is definitely a clash of the Titans.
Like
some wrath.
like any team, there's a little bit of clashing here and there, but it's in a healthy way. We definitely keep things, keep the whole thing very democratic. Where we developed a pretty good, well-oiled machine here when it comes to the different tasks that we have business-wise as well as musically and artistically. So that whenever we clash, it's because we're growing. We are sharing ideas, we're sharing points of view, so that we can find the right solutions to things. So it's just normal. A little clashing is it's not a bad thing. It just creates a little bit of fire there for us to get to the next level.
But the characters clash on stage.
Really? So wait,
Yeah,
what does that
yeah.
entail? Unfortunately, I haven't seen you guys yet. So what happens on stage? Is there blood spatter?
Not blood spatter. There's a little bit of tension. There might be some jawing back and forth. Like the whole thing is like the Titans are brothers. So like any family, brothers are going to knock heads every once in a while, and like the whole story arc and just the identity of the band is just like we're this family that's kind of like bumbling along, trying to refine ourselves as Titans, and there's gonna little situations here and there that like comes to a head, and it's we kind of want to portray that as well on stage, so it's like I said before, it's that life imitating art, imitating life. So we kind of try and like take that and showcase that throughout all the different forms of communication that we have with our fans.
So I want to ask you, so far, do you have? So I mentioned KidCon on the 21st, which would be Saturday. Are there any other gigs scheduled yet, or?
Yeah, we got a few.
Yeah. There's a couple. As a matter of fact, I think one that we could also say right now that we're actually doing a big old house party and video shoot for our song Bumblebee Weed. And that's on June 2nd. And you would have to hit us up personally if you're interested in coming because it's a private show, but it's going to be a big old house party. And then on June 22nd, we're going to be at the Underground in Lansdale. And this is actually going to be the start of like their beer week. Hence, the beer theme is kind of coming back. Bumblebee week, ale. So, if anything, that's going to be a little bit when it comes to. So, and then later on, I mean, there's a couple others, but another big one that we would love people to come out and check out is down in Atlantic City for the J1 Con. And this is going to be at the Showboat House of Blues. And that is September 21st, fellas?
Yes.
Yep, that whole weekend. So
that entire weekend.
Yep, that whole weekend we'll be down there. And if there's something I'm missing, please let me know.
Well, we definitely encourage our fans and people out there to find out about our dates by going online, whether it's Facebook on basically Stereotytans. On social media, it's basically Stereotytans across the board, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. And then Stereotytans.com is our website, and it has all the dates that we're going to be playing, as well as other information. You can check out the songs, so you can check out the story behind the comic book and the comic book itself.
Yeah.
You see what he just did there? He was cheating. He couldn't remember all the dates, so he had to go to the next question of how do we find you guys? Go to the Stereotytans.com. You get you see what he did?
Well,
Yeah.
Did you see that I was looking away? I'm on your website trying to find the info. But he already said it all, so I don't have to anymore. But you can download.
That's right.
The Epic Themes Volume 1 on their website. I got it for $1. You get to pick your own price. Their new album, Forgive Me. What's the name of the new album? It's better if you say it anyway.
Our debut album is titled Escape.
And that's available
that's
on
our
iTunes?
actual. That is on iTunes. Pretty much any digital media outlet you can think of, you can find it there. We also sell it on our website, Stereotytans.com. So if you want to stop by there, you can catch all the links to download it at a couple different spots.
Yeah, Spotify,
wherever music is heard, you can find Stereotytans.
Amazon.
Good. So, I don't know. I guess we have, 5 minutes left? I know you guys kind of have to jet out. I guess a couple more minutes is good?
Yeah, no, we're good.
All
Yeah.
right, cool. So I wanted to talk about, this is my first time meeting you guys. I've known, Mark Mark's known me longer than I've known him. Mark was friends with my brother back in the day. So Mark's a professor, and I'm wondering what your day professions are, because this is a real cerebral concept. It's very in depth, and I'm wondering how that ties into. I mean, Mark, you're a professor. How it ties into your lives.
It's interesting because a lot of the themes that are talked about in the music, they do take on modern spins. And so we're all really thoughtful about our politics and sort of disenfranchisement. And so that sort of plays out a bit in the music for sure. So it'd be cool to see how our listeners and our Demigod fans pick up on that stuff as they go through. There's a lot of Easter eggs, not only in the comic book, but also in the music. St. Prometheus Damon, who's brilliant, a brilliant lyricist. And I mean, the double, the triple meaning that some of the words have, it's really outstanding. But in general, I'm an educator. A lot of us are educators as well. So I taught high school, I teach college. Damon is he's an emotional support educator. Gab, he teaches dance and guitar and all sorts of lots of different art forms. And then our guru of artistic, I don't even know what that, he's just no
direction. I'm like a Swiss Army knife of stuff. Yeah. Pretty much jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah. But I'm a graphic designer by trade, so I do our website. I help out with the designs for lyric sheets or album covers or T-shirts or stickers or pretty much all that stuff. I dabble in costuming. We do a lot of the stuff we do as a band is DIY. Yeah. So we use our experiences and our day jobs and everything else to kind of help us also in our musical realm by using the skills and stuff that we have throughout our education or our daily lives to kind of bolster what we do as a band.
Yeah, and then James Comey is our comic book artist. He's
fantastic artist.
Locust Moon. After he stopped, working with the FBI, so he's been on the news lately.
No, I got the reference.
Right?
I got it. But if you're doing the graphic designing, the website looks great. By the way, just want to point out it's Titan with a Y, so it's stereo, just like your regular stereo. One word, titans.com. You could pick all that up. Comic books soon to be released. You want to see these guys any way you can. I'm seeing a. You've been messing with me this whole time on the camera. He's for the listeners. He's showing me some type of jellyfish or steam. I can't even make out what that is. I see. Oh, it's the Stereotytans logo.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's you guys, great art, great concept, and guys, it means so much to me that you'd speak to me tonight and do this. They've been getting a lot of momentum lately, and they definitely deserve it. So check out Stereotytans, and thanks one more time, guys.
Thanks, Lucas.
Dude, Lucas, thank you for having us on, man.
Anytime. If you ever have something you're promoting, if there's anything you want to say, political or not, just let me know. You've got a platform here. Even though I graduate soon, I can get you on the air.
Right on, man. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Come stop that yard soon.
Sorry?
We're trying to come stump your yard soon, man. Play on the yard.
I think Stereotytans is playing the Davidson household.
Oh!
Hey! House parties. We love them.
Tom and Claire will love that.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, speaking of...
we are ready to rock.
You guys might know, but might not know. I know Mark knows. I'm actually Greek, and my mom texted it saying, "Tell Mark that his other mother, Athena." So I love how mom wants to be Athena, the Greek goddess of beauty.
Oh yeah,
she's calling herself the original Greek. She's going to take credit for your concept.
Hey, call her come bring a sword.
Nice.
She's listening. She hears you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Shout out to Claire.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll be in touch, and this interview will be up on YouTube soon.
All right.
Word.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Have a good one, man.
Wow, Luke.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. All right. So that was Stereotytans. means so much that they'd come spend time. Even though I was fumbling with all the equipment, we had a little bit of a problem. Great guys. Want to thank them, and what better way to promote than to actually play their music off of their debut EP. This is Clowns.